guy for the haters.
Why is it okay for Stephen A to say that? And when I saw this yesterday, and like I said, I thought this happened, and as far as I know, it happened yesterday. Ain't nobody concerned. Ain't nobody said nothing to him. I ain't seen no outrage on Twitter. I ain't seen no outrage on IG.
Right.
Everybody's cool with the fact that he just compared. And I don't care about
Kaepernick to
and
Donald
I don't care
Trump.
about the capacity. I don't care about the capacity because you're smarter than that.
I think the reason there's not a lot of backlash is because maybe he made up for it by the outrage he showed toward Kanye. Because, like you said, that happened.
It may have happened.
Well, I agree with you that it is BS. I do agree with that. But you said that was 3 weeks ago?
No, I looked it up on YouTube. I guess it has to be 3 weeks ago if I seen it on YouTube and it said 3 weeks ago. But
okay.
So
if he made the comparison, Colin Kaepernick to Donald Trump 3 weeks ago, then what he said last week regarding what Kanye said probably in some people's eyes made up for what he was trying to do 3 weeks ago.
So if he said it 3 weeks ago, why wouldn't they end his shit 3 weeks ago?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
and I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, look, on my small platform, X Squad Gang, what up? Stephen A, that was some bullshit. That was some cold bullshit.
It was a bad time to put that out there.
And for you to be so aware and I hate saying woke, but woke to what's going on. And like I'm gonna tell you, my people's calling you all kinds of coons. I refuse.
Surprisingly, they are. I sometimes I'm a little confused by it. On the low.
Because I don't believe that about him. I always find myself defending him, and the whole.
Well, he's been very.
He hasn't pictures with Sheriff Clark.
Well, that was a pretty suspect picture right there. But I will say this: he's nowhere near to what Shannon Sharp is in terms of being woke. No, I'm saying as far as being woke is concerned.
What?
No. As far as, because Shannon is all over social media with this stuff.
Yeah.
As far as staying woke and, the black movement and all that stuff. Stephen A is not quite there, but he does, like, when you listen to him talk, you know that, okay, he ain't cooning or nothing like that. He's telling you, like I'll give you a good example. There's always the conversation about the business side of the NFL. So whenever they talk about Colin Kaepernick getting back into the league and they're talking about the business aspect of it, Stephen A is always making a point that, listen, the owners have a right to do what they want to if they feel like their bottom line or their business is being affected. And it's like, okay, it's a fact. Even though most of us in the black community don't want to hear that right now, but the fact is, if you own a business and if you think there's something that's a threat to you making money, you got to do something about it. So I agree with him in that particular sense.
But fuck all that.
But like I said, nobody wants to hear that. You
can't do that, bro. And I'm not. If this ever gets to you years down the road and I run into you at a Kevin Hart show and you say, "Hey, Maestro, you remember that time years ago when you was like, Colin Kaepernick is comparable to Donald Trump?" And I'm like, dog, what the fuck was you talking about? Why would you think that that's something to say? I don't care about. And again,
even if he broke it down the way he broke it down, that should be nothing he should say.
Yeah, and it's never going to be no cool. That's not going to be no cool example if you're going to criticize Kanye for his support of Donald Trump. You're not going to do that 3 weeks earlier and say Donald Trump is comparable to one of the Colin Kaepernick, who's the person who's like doing so much for the community, our community right now. And then the audacity and the audacity of you to be like, well, we're not gonna compare Colin Kaepernick to Jackie Robinson because times were worse back then.
Times are worse now. just just in a different light.
Don't nobody give a fuck about what time who had the worst time. The point is that in this time he's standing up for our people, and you gonna say that you can't compare him to Jackie Robinson? Like, my nigga, this ain't sports. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Colin Kaepernick's contribution to the community and Jackie Robinson's contribution to the community, that's beyond sports. Don't tell him he can't be seen in the same light as Jackie Robinson or Frederick Douglass. Like, he for the movement, just like anybody that we could name was down for the movement. And I mean, what we gonna say because he made money and then realized he was in a system that, you know what I'm saying? Like, the NFL did this to Colin Kaepernick. He didn't do this to himself. He's out of the league right now because he can't speak or he can't show his protest.
Thank God for the haters, though. I thank God for the haters. Thank God for the haters, though.